Hello, everyone. Welcome to Fantasy Sci Fi. While this presentation is not the norm compared to previous years, it is just as, if not more important, informative, and timely as previous years' in person back to school night presentations. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Mr. Spencer, and I have taught over 3 decades from kindergarten through the college level. I have 4 master's degrees, all from NIU, and I also coach track and field at Matia Valley High School. I am married. My wife has been by my side for nearly 30 years. And we have 2 daughters who will soon be 28 and 24, both of whom we're very proud. I live on a farm, my fortress of solitude, and love my pets as my picture attests. And I grew up on a farm as a child, so you can say it's in my blood. Now, let's discuss what to expect from fantasy sci fi while in my class. Fantasy sci-fi is a class of these two rather general subjects, which means it covers a large number of pieces of literature and hits the writing components from multiple vantage points as they relate to fantasy and science fiction. Students can find all they need from class on our Google Classroom, which has been active since before the school year started. If you need access as well as a parent, please shoot me an email and I can get you set up. Our Google Classroom, on Google Classroom, our students will find first and foremost the Google Meet link from which we will conduct classes in our scheduled meeting days. Each day, students go to this link and engage in the day's classroom material set up by me. As stated, Google Classroom is everything your adolescent needs in order to enhance his or her skills in reading and writing. For a quick breakdown of how Google Classroom works, students will see the day's due assignments as well as upcoming assignments in the boxes on the left-hand side of the screen. At the top, students will see various categories which are also of significant use. Stream means students can see posts made in a chronological order. Therefore, let's say I post some information with a document or link like I did on August 31st around the time this video was made. The students can see the directions as well as click on the link and read, save, or complete the link provided. As you can see, Google Classroom is very linear and easy to follow. Next to Stream, students can click on Classwork and get further details of classwork assigned by category and date. After you click on Classwork at the top, on the left-hand side, you will see the categories classwork has been designated so students can quickly find said material. If you peruse down the page, the categories are displayed in a descending order, again for quick retrieval. Google Classroom is a great organizer for students, parents, and teachers alike, and helps students who might have difficulty with organizational skills or for students who are absent and need to see what is due on any given day. As for grade distribution of the class, our fantasy sci-fi class is as such: 5% for homework grades, 15% for formative assessments, 80% for summative assessments. What do these grades mean? Well, let's break it down further. Homework grades, for instance, which again are 5% of each 9 weeks grade, are things like reading checks for understanding for our readings from short stories to novels. Formative assessments, which are 15% of the students' grades, are early assessments given to students where they will be working on improving writing and reading skills, which will be directed at a more encompassing summative assessment in the future. For example, students completed their first formative assessment by completing an explanation of how science fiction characteristics are present in the short story Smear. In the future, students will create a graphic novel type short story, a video critical analysis of a science fiction or fantasy movie, just to name a few. Summative assessments, as stated before, are the final assessments of students' work and show student skills before going on to the next module. As stated earlier, summative assessments make up 80% of the 9 weeks grade and are meant to be a culmination of student growth. For example, students write a multi-paragraph essay explaining the heroic characteristics of one of the fantasy works we will read over the first semester. Here are just a few of the works we will cover the first three quarters. Would like to end by saying that I am committed to making your young adults more adept to fantasy and science fiction, as well as writing and reading skills for their future endeavors. Will always, always, always be willing to help in any way possible. And I am a strong believer in open communication, as you may already know with the multitude of emails I have already sent out, as well as individual contacts I have made with parents or guardians when students fall behind. One last thing, I have office hours every weekday except the first day of the week when I am required to meet with my PLC group. Those office hours are from 7:15 a.m. to 8:15 a.m. again every day of the week except the first day. You or your adolescent can reach me by first emailing me or contacting me through Google Classroom, and then we can decide on what avenue of communication is preferred. I will aid students on a first come, first served basis. In short, I am always willing to help. All anyone has to do is ask. I wholeheartedly mean that. Thank you for your time to go over our fantasy sci fi class, and here's to hoping we will be getting back to some sense of normalcy before long. In the meantime, I will do my very best to make sure no one slips through the cracks educationally and emotionally speaking. Thank you.